comes nicely onto when we're speaking about your why. I had a conversation with somebody only a couple of weeks ago about property, and they, like myself, have gone through some of the educational courses, different programs to get into property, and they're still sticking with it. However, they've realised, as have I, that, when we spoke about that free energy and your purpose and what you were born to do, like property for me and the person that I was speaking to, is not it. I guess for a lot of people, if you ask yourself that question, even if it's behind closed doors, you don't have to admit it to all your investors and things, but if you ask yourself, is property it for you? Is it the thing that energizes you? Chances are it isn't, but it's what, as a result, it can facilitate, and maybe the remuneration from it facilitates your overall purpose, and therefore it's a vehicle to get what it is that you want in life and achieve the things you aspire to achieve.
There's a huge amount of that, I think. I'm definitely that person, I think, where it's like, I was always the type of person who had like a bit of a side hustle and was trying to just like squeeze a bit more out of the situation. So even going back to, having a CD writer as a kid in school and being able to copy people, various CDs and stuff like that. That was what I was doing at 13, and then working through all sorts of different businesses and trying to come up with ideas. And one of the things I figured out was I'm not really a creative type. So I'm not going to come up with an idea which is going to explode into an amazing business. Property exists as a tried and true, centuries old formula, which is, if you follow these steps, you can make money and you can make yourself free. And that just resonated with me, in terms of there's just enough of a barrier to entry to stop everybody jumping in, which means that you have to have some level of discipline to really save up and do the hard yards at the start to make sure that you get there. But then once you're in, it's just kind of a repeatable process, and you get there. It's just a case of how fast. And that just suited my personality type down to the ground, I think.
Yeah.
Well, my lack of inspiration anyway. It's like, not everybody can come up with the next Facebook, the next TikTok or whatever. It's like
I love that.
Even if somebody came up with that idea, I might have the technical skills to implement something like that, but I couldn't come up with the idea in the first place. So it's like, either I've got to walk around San Francisco hoping to accidentally bump into the right person, or I can just do something that's slow and steady and get me there. Sorry, I cut you off.
Think about how, I love that. Think about how intelligent that actually is. That, and it's not to put a limit on yourself. I would never want anybody to put a limit on themselves, but it's like you've identified, look, this is my area of strength, not necessarily here. There's nothing wrong with that, because if you think about the people where they say, I didn't go to school and get A grades, I didn't go to college and get this, that and the other, and I wasn't a 180 IQ, whatever the stats are, they say, but I know what to do to hire those people, and therefore, as a result of it, a byproduct, make a hell of a lot of money, deliver a lot of service to the world. So they've realised their area, again, isn't here. Their area of strength is here, exactly as you just identified. That's really smart.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's that thing, isn't it? It's like, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. You need to keep pushing yourself, and that was one of the reasons. Obviously, how we met is through the Leeds Property Breakfast, and one of the reasons that I pushed myself into that circumstance was because I felt like I got quite comfortable in the circles that I was in, and this was a room full of absolute pros that were doing things at a higher level to me. So as much as I felt like an absolute imposter the first time I went, it's like, now, I feel like with, a lot of people there stand shoulder to shoulder, and, obviously part of that's me coming on, but part of that's just me getting to know people and having more confidence in my own skills. And I said to, like, the very first investor that I got any kind of sort of funds from, it was like, I said to them, look, I'm going to be clear. Look, I don't know everything about property, but in my phone book, I could probably find the answer to nearly everything. And that's not where I was 18 months ago, but I'm there now. I've got a fantastic network in this space. And, it doesn't matter whether it's come to finding cheap paint to figuring out how to fix a crack in a massive building. Like I could connect within an hour with the right person to solve that problem, and that's, you know, a massive part of it. Like you can't be all things to all people. There's no, there's a lot of people that will come in, they go, I'm going to train to be an estate agent, I'm going to do a structural surveyor course, I'm going to do all the painting myself. And it's like, no, just figure out what you like and your bit, and, you know, let it go from there. Just pay and leverage other people to do what they're experts at. So I did enough painting on the first couple to know that just somebody, I can pay someone, you know, to do it twice as fast for half the price of what it costs me to take the day off to do it. So what's the point?